After each of the presentations that I've done, I have handed out papers that look like this. There's a space to put any questions that maybe you felt uncomfortable asking in person, especially with the topics that we cover during the presentation. Some of them get really personal. And so I wanted to give these girls an opportunity to ask me their questions without feeling like they were put on the spot, without feeling like everyone would know that they were asking the question. And so I am going to start doing a thing called Ask Nat. I'm going to start with the questions that I've been getting on papers. So I have the first one today. I'm not a mental health professional. I just have my own experiences and things that have worked for me, and so I'm just giving my personal opinion and advice and experience, and you can do whatever you want with it. Getting started, this person asked, do you get scared about things that happened in the past and telling other people about them? So this to me is two different questions combined. I'm going to treat it as two different questions and sort of answer it in that way. Do I get scared about things that happened in the past? The past used to affect me a lot, and it always will. You're always going to have experiences and memories and things that have shaped you. That's how we get to be who we are. It's because of our life journey and the things that we've done and faced and experienced. Life, cool. When we have experiences in the past that have affected us, like strongly affected us, whatever the emotion was, we don't like to go back there in our minds. We shove them down as far deep into ourselves as we can get them. And it kind of makes sense, you know, you want to block things out and almost pretend like they didn't happen. Unfortunately, you can't heal that way, because when you don't actually heal old wounds, when you don't address them head on, they will always find a way to creep back and affect you. I'm at a point now, and I've been at a point for a while, where I can recognize triggers. I know when I'm irrationally reacting to something. And when I know that I am, that's when I sort of go back and try to pinpoint the actual cause of my reaction. It's about closing that wound and healing it. And the only way to heal it is to address it head on. And it's the most painful way, but it is the most worth it way. I'm not sure if that is a grammatically accurate statement. Just always keep in mind that end goal of getting past it, because if you run away from it, it's always going to affect you. It's always going to have power over you, and it's always going to hold you back from living your best life and from really achieving happiness and peace with who you are and where you are in your life. The second half of this question, do I get scared about telling other people? If I allow myself to think about what I'm doing and to think about like the logistics of actually like opening up my entire self, my entire story to a group of strangers, in that sense, it can be scary. But the thing that always helps you overcome fear is knowing that, this is like a cliche quote, like knowing that something else is more important than that fear. Thinking back to when I started this journey, I would have given anything to have found someone who could look at me in the eye and say, I have been where you are. I know what you're feeling. I know what you're experiencing. Someone who would have been able to level with me and say, you know what? There are parts of this journey that are really going to suck. You're going to be bringing up a lot of things and emotions that you don't want to face, but it's worth it. I would have given anything to have had someone that would have been able to say that to me. So when I think about that, it makes it worth it to open up to that group of strangers. People find out eventually that your life's not perfect and that you're not perfect, and so it might as well be the first time you interact with someone. But I need you to know that I haven't always been that way. It's not like I woke up one morning and I was like, I'm ready to tell everyone about my life. I had to build up to this point where I am able to talk about it. If I had tried to talk about these things or do these presentations when I first started this journey, there's no way I would have been able to, because everything was still so fresh, everything was so real. I was bringing up old emotions and reopening old wounds that I had shoved down as far as they could possibly go. But after I got to a point where everything was starting to heal and everything was closing up and it's just scars now, I can talk about them without feeling those emotions and without feeling that pain. Again, I'm not a mental health professional, but I highly advocate talking to someone, whether that is a counselor or a therapist or even just a close friend and confidant that you know that you're not going to get judged for what you're saying, but you have to be ready for it and you have to be determined. My neighbors are home. That's a garage opening. I'm not sure if you can hear that. Where was I? I am that person that is leveling with you and telling you how hard it's going to be, but how worth it is. And I'm the person that's telling you that you can do it. You can do it. You can get to a healthy, happy place. I hope that this answered your question. I hope that it at least helps you in the sense that you know that you're not alone on your journey, that whatever you are experiencing and feeling, someone else has experienced and felt. So thank you so much for your question. I know that just even writing this question down must have taken a lot of courage, and I respect that and I appreciate that. If anyone else has any questions or anything to add or whatever, you can get in touch with me and I'll do my best to answer them or just say hi. Thanks. Don't forget to love yourself.